Bleach seasons 1, 2, 3. The last review, part 3. Hey, continuing onward, Ichigo right now is dealing with his Bankai training after being knocked out by Yoruichi. To be taken to the special place to hide and train. That way he can prepare for his battle against Byakuya Kuchiki within 3 days' time. Right. But it's really difficult because it's a very difficult training to turn to. He has to push himself to its limits to unleash his Bankai training, and that's something that's not easily done. Continuing onward after his fight with after his Bankai training, there are other fights. For example, there's Udi Ushida versus Minoru Koitsuchi, who's captain of SWAT 12 and second leader of the Department of Research and Development. Minoru's always been an awkward guy for me. He's emotionless, sickening, monstrous, always willing to dissect and take anything apart just to see how it works and how it's tick. He was going to go after Orihime until Uryu stopped him. But then it's later revealed that he set up Uryu's grandfather to die, just so he could dissect him and see what makes him tick. He was a Quincy, and Quincy was extremely rare at that time, so it was hard to study. Probably someone that's alive. He was the only one viable at the time, but that's no excuse. But even though I love the fight because it shows that Uryu can be tough, especially when he removed his Sanrei Shoto. It's the glove on his right arm, and it's supposed to be a tool to enhance his Quincy power. It's an artifact that was left behind by his grandfather, just in case of any emergency. But it's forbidden to take it off because it increases your power very strongly, but it's also very dangerous because it could take away your Quincy powers and also leave you as a helpless human. That is very dangerous for someone in this position. But he did it anyway to kill Minoru and to stop him. I ask you this: will you not stop, and would you personally not stop to destroy Minoru because Minoru was the same man who killed your grandfather? I wouldn't think so. I think Uryu was justified, even though I think Minoru should have died at the time. He didn't die. I don't know what Kubo was thinking, but that's the way the story goes. Can't argue with that. Continuing on, where there are other circumstances, like, for example, the lieutenants are all in jail. Renji, Matsumoto, Momo Yatsumoto, who was captain of Squad 5 lieutenant, and also Izuru Kyo, lieutenant of Squad 5, for a fight that happened earlier after the death of Sosuke Aizen, who was captain of Squad 5. It was right later. He was about to get killed by Momo, but he stepped in to defend him, and that was earlier. I didn't mention that because didn't seem to. So I have my reasons for not mentioning it earlier. And I'll explain in a little bit. Continuing onward after the fight, you get reminded of the past. You get the reminder that all four Momo, Renji, and Izuru, all three of them went to the same academy together, but things became difficult. Especially Momo and Toshiro Hitsuga, captain of Squad 12, captain of Squad 13. He and Momo, they have a good past together. They're friends. After Momo reads the letter, she escapes from jail, trying the person who killed Captain Aizen, but turns out it was Toshiro who killed him, but it's all a lie. The letter was a setup. Toshiro didn't kill anybody. And Momo's just upset. He sees Green, who's just laughing, not even doing anything, not even to stop this. And Momo gets in the way, and he even knocks her down just to get her out of the way. But it was so hurt. But he just hated himself. Toshiro just hated himself because he grew up as Momo as a friend. They cared for each other. And to see Momo just distraught in pain like that, it really hurt him. The fight between Gin and Toshiro happens. I admit, the fight was pretty epic. I wanted to see Gin get fan of himself in the fight. And I admit, that was the first fight I really did like it. And I really got to like Toshiro a little bit. His skills and his ice powers, Yoin Maru, it's very strong. Just as Toshiro was having the edge, Gin uses his Shinzo to attack, and then he has Matsumoto in his eyes right now. He has to choose between letting Gin go or letting Momo die. The decision is his. But luckily Momo doesn't die, and fortunately Gin got away, so they're in a very bad situation. But Things get worse. Sore throat. Things get very, very worse as they find out that the change for Ukiyo execution has been made to 29 hours from now. That's noon the next day. Ichigo find out all this from Renji. He and Renji pursue their Bankai training even further. This is a very epic chapter. I just love this for its unconditional chapter and its drama. I also consider several story fights. I just loved it. As Renji continues with his fights, other recoil effects. That's all other fights. I mean, there's Kenpachi Zaraki who fight Captain Kaname Tozen and also Captain Kaname Tozen and also Captain Shajin Kawamura of Squad 8 and Squad 9. I really love that fight. Even though it was a short fight, I gotta admit I loved it because it lasted more than one episode. But it still could lose a little more. Then there's finally Renji's fight with Yakuya Kutsuki, who is probably one of the strongest captains in the Soul Society's history that you could possibly think of. He's in a class. He got very classy. He's very strong. There are also other fights that I would have loved to see. There's also Soifon's fight with Yoruichi Shihoin. Yoruichi in her true form, which she's not a cat. She's very strong, and you gotta admit she's very fast as a badass. Although there's one thing I never understand. If she was an ex-captain, where had her Sanpakuto were all this time? What happened with it? Was it destroyed? Was it just abandoned? No one tells me anything. I still don't get it. Anyway, continuing on forward, you just love fights. There's also Renji's fight with Byakuya was pretty epic, and it proved that he was standing up out of Byakuya's shadow and tried to fight for Rukia more than that. He does have feelings for Rukia and wants to defend her all his life. Then there's Byakuya, who's just all about his honor and defending the rules. He thinks he doesn't care about Rukia at all. Things are getting difficult and even more difficult. Fights are getting out of hand. Lieutenants are starting coup d'etats. People are starting to fight back. Things are very epic in this chapter. I just love these for these unconditional fights. Nice to see so many moments. I mean, one of my favorites is these are getting even more epic. For example, in the execution ground where they're preparing the Sokyu-ku execution, and after Kenpachi defeats Kaname, he's up against Shajin. Even though we never got to see the full fight with Shajin, I would have loved to see that. After the execution, they're about to perform it. Ichigo blocks the Sokyu-ku, which is just the power of his Sanpakuto. Then you go as he's about to strike back against the Sokyu-ku, Captain Ukitake and Captain Jushiro, they managed to stop it, but it's very difficult for them. This is very difficult for them because right now, with what they did, they're in a very bad position and even once Ichigo rescues Rukia, Renji managed to get back on his feet after being healed. Renji's just a glutton for punishment. I just love Renji because he's like Ichigo. He has the guts to never give up, but he also wants to fight. After the execution is stopped, Ichigo hands Rukia to Renji. He runs off, and he even backs them up when the lieutenants start going after them, like Omaida, Isane, and the other guy, from Squad, and Lieutenant from Squad 1, I love it for that chapter because it's very epic for me because Ichigo's gotten strong and he's strong enough to knock them down without using his sword. And then there's the epic fight with him and Byakuya. I just love it. His fight with Byakuya lasted at least a total of 4 episodes. That's one of my favorite parts. 4 to 3 episode fight. When they keep extending it. And this chapters also have multiple variables. There are multiple variables: sneakiness, drama. There's also this, Captain Hitsugaya also private investigation to stop the execution. He goes to Central Gichotan, or what you may call Central 46, the private zone where the judges and Supreme Court justices of the Soul Society, when they made the rules. They made the rules for the courts, the listening, all the judgment calls for execution, sentencing. They're basically the Supreme Court justice of their world. But then it's later revealed that this is all a sneaky, underhanded, dirty trick. All the officials are dead, and guess whose plan is this? Guess whose sneaky plan is it? Okay, da 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 da. Sasuke Aizen, who faked his own death and hid underground for several reasons. Let me explain. After finding out that his death was faked, like things are getting even more epic. Momo is the first to find out. Technically, the first was Izu, but it's not. It was until the first episode so that Aizen faked his death. He even forced a letter just to get Momo to kill Toshiro just to get out of the way, and talked to her line like he was and tossed her aside like she was garbage. He stabbed her in the chest, just giving her that dirty look like she was nothing but yesterday's garbage. Even Toshiro tried to use his Bankai against him. He was overwhelmed by his Kyokatsu gets through the power of his Nopus. The only one other captain that was there who was smart enough to figure out something was wrong was Captain 4. Was the captain of Squad 4. I like her, Captain Unohana, because she's a healer. She's not strictly a combat type, but she's very strong as a person, especially with someone with spiritual energy. I really like her because she's strong. She kind of reminds me of Hime a little bit. Someone who doesn't fight, but at the same time she's willing to back up her comrades and friends. That's what I like about her. That's also what I like about this chapter. So many secrets are revealed, so many dramatic sides. I don't think of this as just one particular anime. It's more like a soap opera. You get so many sides, so many characters, and so many situation changes and variables. Later it's revealed Sasuke Aizen's ultimate plan was to get Usuke to die because there's a secret inside her body, the Hokyoku, which Kisuke Unohara secretly implanted within the Gigai, meaning she was never supposed to gain her power. She just used her as a shell to hide her, manipulate her. Even though we thought Kisuke was a nice guy, he used her as a tool. Nothing more, nothing less. That's just sad. That's just sad. Aizen eventually gets what he wants and escapes by making a deal with the Menos Grandes, the Hollows. It's later revealed these are the first, and then later after he escapes, Ichigo and the others are recovered. They leave the Soul Society behind and go out their daily lives. This is the first 63rd episodes of Bleach that I saw. I remember when they started promoting this in 2006 on Adult Swim. I gotta admit, I was a little sketchy, but after I noticed that it was all about fighting, magic, and swords and spirits, I became really into it. And at the same time, I first watched the first 52 episodes, but at the same time they started postponing Bleach. I was wondering where they're going to put the next episodes on, but at the same time they were also promoting Death Note with Light Yagami, and everybody know how popular Death Note was, so I couldn't argue with that. Anyway, and continuing onward, I really love Bleach and its chapters. I mean, you get bonuses, inside look at the cast if you buy the DVD cases, then you get prizes. These I got these from box set DVD, original drawings, things of Ichigo and Toshiro. They even have Japanese glyphs on it. Can't understand the lick of it, but who cares? It's still collectibles. You also get this special poster. Look behind me. Look, this poster came in DVDs at season 2. You also get a poster if you get DVD that's season 1, the substitute, of Ichigo holding a sword. You also get that and this and also other stuff, and also inside of that and others rendering inside look at Comic-Con and next big anime out there. I guarantee you buy all 3 of these, they're worth a good time. If you watch them online, I guarantee you'll be happy. I'll put the link down at the end of this video so you can watch them from the beginning. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you. Hope you're listening. This is Sullivan Adams. Comment and subscribe. Hope you enjoy my latest 3-part video review since school days. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks to hope you're watching the first 3 seasons of Bleach. I love them, and you have so many sides of them. And I'd be glad, and I'll be fabulous. I'll be glad to watch them anytime, any place, anywhere because of nostalgia's sake. I hope you enjoy. Comment, rate, subscribe. Signing off.